I think restaurants have a responsibility as trendsetters in a way to educate people about the ways that we eat. So things like eating organically, those are trends that started in restaurants. Things like putting prosciutto and melon, that's a trend that started in a restaurant. Those went pretty large. And if what we're doing here with offal can even in a small way influence people's dining habits, then we would be stoked. We would just love it if that's a little thing that started happening after people came for dinner here.
I enjoy hearts because that's, I guess, philosophically and by taste, it's the essence of the animal. A Poussin heart is intensely chickeny, and a venison heart has a true venison flavor. It's clean, and yeah, it's true to the flavor of the animal. So I like that, and it's a pleasant texture. You just take that down, and you're basically ending up, as you can see, sort of a few manageable sort of pieces that are going to grill evenly. So we get just like let's look for something that's going to be not cooking for too long. Super hot grill. The texture of it is quite firm, but then when you cook it, it acts much like any other mussel, and on the grill it'll get a nice crust on it, be nice and moist on the inside, and we're just going to slice it thinly, and you'll see how friendly it looks. So now to turn it over, some nice grill lines on there. We've got our hearts and our livers, and then our rabbit meat, which has come off these bones. These will be used for stock, and we basically just sort of add it all together. We'll get a bit of pork fat in there to keep it all moist, and then just very, very gently cook it in a low oven in a tureen, which is the name of the vessel, and then it'll be pressed for about 24 hours. And when it comes out, it's sort of formed into a I guess a meatloaf, for lack of a better term. And you'll have inside there all sorts of different textures and flavors, and it's a really, really delicious way to start a meal. Fresh shallots will give the tureen a nice bit of acidity to counteract the sweetness of the tureen, and the slowly cooked shallots will bring out a sweetness that will add to the whole round profile of the tureen, which is really nice.
It's not about taking the weirdest, wackiest food and making a novelty item out of it, and it's not about seeing who can eat the creepiest thing. It's actually about showing people what you can do that's beautifully delicious, tender, flavoursome, all the things that we enjoy about meat more generally. These things apply to offal, and we are very passionate about making delicious food here at our restaurant. That's the only thing we're interested in serving, and we're as passionate about that as we are about sustainability, so we use the whole animal to do just that, to make delicious food with. And that's number one.
The beauty about terrines is the fact that you can use all of those little bits that might not work so well in a main course. So the trim from when you're cleaning rabbit, even if you're doing another animal, that could work quite nicely in the terrine as well. So it's it comes back to that using everything, sustainability, and it presents in a really nice way. So it's a great dish in that respect.
There's two things to consider about sustainability. One is the idea of having a limited range of animals that we use in our diet, mainly beef, chicken and lamb. And if we just extended that to beef, chicken, lamb, goat, rabbit, duck, guinea fowl, pheasant, venison, tar, we might put much less pressure on the farming of those animals that are more typically consumed by everyday Kiwis. And then of the animals that we do farm intensively, we tend not to use the whole thing. The ratio is about 1/3 of the animal is wasted. But the other thing about offal is that it's highly nutritious. You've got really good value nutrition in things like liver and kidney and heart. And it's crazy to throw these out in favour of really expensive fatty cut of meat.
Onion marmalade.
I think when you look at this, your mind doesn't go gore and guts. Your mind is just seeing a beautiful, morsel to eat.
And that's us.
It's a way of thinking that we inherited from Dariush's dad, using everything makes sense from an economical point of view and an environmental point of view, so it's really important for us to do both of those things.
Everything has to be done with care and with respect, and with the final product in mind, and ultimately the customer in mind as well. Can all be used and all should be used.
Yeah, it just makes good sense.